Welcome back. It is Friday, August 18th, and the MLB. Our five favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. You know who we are at this point. Let's hit a recap from yesterday. 2 in 1 day. We'll take that any day of the week. Which Rich Hill over 2.5 earned runs was pretty sweat-free. I did cash the FanDuel pivot, so hopefully everyone cashed out. Bobby, 2 bags. Witt Jr. easily gets his 2 bases. Got 4, I think, bases too. And Paul Goldschmidt, man, if he wasn't slow as molasses, you would have had 2 bases easily. He had a deep single, probably could have advanced, had 1 hit, had 5 plate appearances. Nothing we can do there, but we'll take a 2 in 1 day any day of the week. Let's go 5-0 today. Now we have some important news. Sound the alarms. Parlay of the day is back. Top link in description. We've hit 5 straight parlays of the day on Dimers. Go check it out. We're aiming for 6 straight. It's a 3-leg hit parlay, and it involves Trey Turner. We're not betting on Trey Turner on bases today, but he's in that parlay today. Go find out the other 2 hitters we're riding with. Might be live a little bit later on this morning, just so if it's not live by the time you click the line, it will be live by noon probably. But second note, we bet those all the time on Bet365. If you want to sign up for Bet365, get $200 worth of bonus bets. It's pretty simple. I talked about it yesterday. You sign up to a second link in description, deposit $10, make a $1 money line bet on any MLB team. All the details down below. Take advantage of Bet365 because that's where you get the best hit parlay odds. Today's comes in at plus 211 over there. And my last note, we have our second channel. If you want to go check out the Orioles bird bath video, definitely go show some love. I'll link it at the end of this video. But Logan, we got 5 plays. We got to dive in. What's your first one going to go? You're going to an early start today.
Yeah, we need to get this one early because it's the early Cubs game. Taking Nico Hoerner and Austin Riley in a hit parlay, each to record a hit, plus 108 odds on Bet365 is currently your best value there. Now, obviously, I do mention, get this bet in early because Nico Hoerner has a 2:20 p.m. Eastern time start time. So you want to go ahead and place him and look at Nico Hoerner. He's coming off a hitless game that broke his 7-game hit streak. Normally, Austin and I like backing hitters that are coming off an 0 for performance because it's a percentage play. It's time to start a new hit streak against Cole Ragans in the Royals today. Cole Ragans has allowed 7 hits in 2 out of his last 3 starts. I mean, sometimes you just can't miss bats, and I'll take my chances with Nico Hoerner today. If you look at Ragans' pitch mix, he throws primarily fastball, changeup, curve. Hoerner against those pitches, 307, 295, and 225. So as long as, if he's throwing him the fastball, changeup, Nico Hoerner sees this really well. And I like that Nico Hoerner is a good fastball hitter because a lot of times what you see with pitchers is if their secondary pitches aren't working, they'll spam a few fastballs in there. Well, Nico Hoerner, a really good fastball hitter on the year. Against lefties, Hoerner's hitting 279 this season. At home, Hoerner's hitting 291 this season. He's hovering around that 300 batting average at Wrigley. Yeah, I'll go ahead and add him in there. And Royals, 6th worst bullpen ERA in August at a 6.06 ERA. So there's plenty of opportunities late. And then the second leg of this parlay is Austin Riley. Look at Austin Riley, COS Hall of Famer, right? Riley has a hit in 10 out of his last 11 home games. Yeah, I'll remind you when that one hitless game came. Sad for the community there. But today he faces Cobb and the Giants, and I like his matchup. Cobb will throw 51% sinker, 22% knuckle curve, 14% splitter, 13% slider. Riley against those pitches, 339, 375, 167, 239, respectively against those pitches. So we always have known Riley's kind of weakness on the year is fastballs. Well, Cobb doesn't really throw fastball. He's sinker primarily, and Austin Riley sees sinker pretty well. Cobb has given up 9 and 7 hits in his last 2 starts. Facing a pitch-to-contact pitcher, I'll roll with Riley and his 309 batting average at home. I think he's a really good bet to make. Hopefully this hit parlay starts off with a Nico Hoerner cash, and then we can sweat out Austin Riley. But Austin, what are you going with today?
Yeah, Logan, love that game. I would be on Bobby 2 bags Witt Jr. today, but something sketchy about the Royals line today. Sitting team total 3.5, something they're hitting like 6 or 7 straight. People are going to trust the Royals, and that's one thing you can never do. You never trust the Royals. Maybe Bobby will be on later on, but I'm going to go to a hit parlay. One guy I'm wearing his jersey today, our boy Ryan Mountcastle. Another guy I should have his dang jersey, Ronald Acuna Jr. Ordered his jersey like 3 years ago. Sales are coming from the MLB shop. It's obviously a joke, but I'm still waiting for it. But let's talk with these 2 fellas, because like Logan talked about, we like to target those guys that are coming off 0 for games. And speaking of 0 for, Ronald Acuna, one of the big 0 for 3 in his last game with the walk. So look, I think he's going to bounce back here today. We love taking it. It's like a law of percentages. I was going to consider pairing this with Hi-Song Kim of the Padres, who also went 0 for yesterday. Just don't love the pitching that we're going to see from the D-backs guys. So I'd rather go to Ryan and Ronald. Now let's talk about Ronald Acuna. Obviously, don't really need to tell you how good he's been this year, but I'll give you some stats. Batting 335 on the year, 354 in August, hitting 338 at home on the year, 343 versus right-handed pitchers. Look, Acuna's been so good. He's also fast enough to get those infield singles if you need it to, but he's also a guy that's in like the 98th or 99th or 100th percentile in almost every single offensive metric, whether it's expected batting average, expected slugging, hard hit percentage, barrel percentage, every single stat he's really good against. And he's going to face Alex Cobb, who he's 1-for-3 lifetime against. Sure, we'll take that. You look at the pitches, Cobb's going to throw a lot of sinkers, 51% sinker, 22% knuckle curve, 14% splitter, 13% slider, like Logan just talked about. Ronald's expected batting averages versus those pitches, 352, 422, 320, and 362. Like I said, I'll take my chances here with Ronald Acuna getting us a base hit. Going to bat leadoff for the Braves tonight. He's going to have his plate appearances. Hopefully he gets us one. Now, next up is friend of the program, Ryan Mountcastle, rocking his jersey today. We talked about Ryan. He's been scorching hot, batting 271 on the year, hit 350 in July, so that wasn't good enough. Hitting 407 in August. Has a hit in 17 of his last 18 games. Going to face a right-handed pitcher in Luis Medina today of the Oakland Athletics. Look, Ryan likely probably slides back down to the 5 spot in the lineup, which I don't agree with why he's batting down there, but whatever. I think he'll still have plenty of plate appearances to get it done on the road against the A's. I mean, if he can't get it done against Medina, don't worry, the bullpen will come in there, and they got plenty of chances to get it there. Medina's a guy that's going to throw a lot of sliders, sinker, four-seam, and curveball. There's the exact numbers up on the screen. You see Ryan's expected batting average versus those pitches, 292, 313, 224, and 314. Obviously, Ryan hits better versus lefties, but he's still hitting righties just as well. Tomorrow he faces Ken Waldichuk, I believe, a lefty, so maybe we'll be on his bases tomorrow, but today we only need one base from Ryan. Also, my favorite part about Ryan, and he even talks about this when we were with him, he's swinging for the baseball, so he's 22nd percentile walk percentage. I'll take my chances that Ryan can come out here and get it done. Ronald Acuna can get it done too. Dynamic duo, Ryan and Ronald. Hopefully they each get a hit. But Logan, I'm going to toss it to you. You got a game pick today, and I don't think a lot of people are going to like this one, but I think it's a pretty good one. Where are you going today?
Yeah, I put on my contrarian hat a little bit today, and I'm taking the Brewers on the money line, plus 100 odds on FanDuel, currently your best value today. Now, I did wake up and choose to help the Brewers break their 3-game losing streak. You know, normally people like to bet baseball. They like to pick hot teams. I'm not that way. I know baseball's a really long sport. It's a law of averages type thing. And normally, you know, losing streaks come to an end eventually. And as I talked about yesterday, you know, at the end of the show, I talked about Corbin Burns, and I knew he was going to go out and pitch a really good game. I knew he was going to give him a masterclass. I just thought they might be able to give him some run support. And oh boy, you know, Corbin Burns, that's a tough look there. You know, they got shut out yesterday. Against Andrew Heaney today, I think this is actually a bounce back matchup for the Brewers offense today. You look at Andrew Heaney, 4.17 ERA and a 1.37 whip on the year. I mean, that's a high whip. That's not that high of an ERA, but that whip, man. Look at his walks per 9 ratio, 3.7. To me, it's hard to ever trust a guy like that that's flirting near 4 in the walks per 9 ratio. And the command and the control for Heaney has always been a question mark. I mean, some days he just simply doesn't have it. And you know what? At a plus money price, I'll go ahead and take that. Milwaukee hitting 250 against lefties in August, which is an improvement from their 233 average on the year. Everyone's, you know, that's back in the Rangers is going to be like, Brewers suck versus lefties. Brewers suck versus lefties. You know, can't trust them. But you know what? I actually think they should be able to get some hits and runs up on Andrew Heaney. It's not all that, you know, unimaginable to me. And I think they have the starting pitcher edge with Brandon Woodruff. 1.99 ERA and a 0.84 whip. Now, obviously, that ERA is due regression. It's not going to be under 2. But the Brewers have won 3 out of 4 Woodruff starts this year. He gives them a great chance to win the game. And that's really all I can ask for, because Corbin Burns gave them a good chance to win the game yesterday, but they just didn't get it done. I think a lot of people are going to be salty with that outcome yesterday and not really look to back Woodruff and the Brewers today, but I think that's a mistake. He, you know, obviously he will have his work cut out for him against the Rangers lineup. 1 through 9, they're very talented. There's a reason why they're hitting 282 at home. They're just a really good offense at home. But after watching them get no hit through 7 innings last game, it reminded me that as good as they are, they're still human, and this is still baseball. And in any given night, they can have a down night. And there's a reason why Woodruff's K prop is set to 6.5 with juice on the over. I think the books are expecting a pretty solid Woodruff showing, as am I. I just think he's one of those pitchers that you know, if he has you in a 2-strike count, he is able to get the swing and a miss. If we look at bullpens in the late game, Texas 4th in bullpen ERA at 2.06, Milwaukee 11th at a 3.38. I really do think Milwaukee has the better bullpen, and it's been a hot minute since the Rangers bullpen has really collapsed and reminded people of how shaky they were early in the season. Could we see it tonight? Maybe. I think they'll get enough run support though against Andrew Heaney to give Woodruff, a solid chance to get the win in this game. And I think the Brewers money line is one of those picks that, you feel a little bit uncomfortable placing in your bet slip, but I think it is the right bet to make. I just think Woodruff is so much better than Andrew Heaney at that plus value price. So I'll go ahead and take that. But Austin, what else are we going with?
Yeah, I got 2 picks, and if you didn't notice, I got a jersey swap, and I'm going to start with this one. Similar to Logan's contrarian play, rocking a cherry blossom jersey for the Nationals, and I'm going to them and taking their team total over 3.5 runs, plus 100 on Caesars. Now, a lot of people aren't going to like this because I'm pretty confident almost everyone will be on the Phillies in some way or fashion. They'll be on either the Phillies team total, the Phillies run line, the Phillies money line, whatever you name it, and reasonably so, because you got when you look on paper, you got a clear, distinct advantage. Jonah Doan versus Michael Lorenzen. And I think the Nats bats are going to show up tonight. And let's talk about why. Now, if you flash back to last Friday, everyone hated my pick. I said Corbin Burnes was going to get lit up by the White Sox, and they trotted out the worst team they could have trotted out, and they still lit him up. I think today Michael Lorenzen, regression is coming his way, and let's talk about it. Now, you're talking about Lorenzen, a guy that in his last start threw a no-hitter, and it was against this very team, the Washington Nationals. But in that game, I think that no-hitter was a little more of an anomaly, more so than anything else. I think Lorenzen has given up some hits today, and you know what? The books think some regression is coming his way too, because they got Lorenzen's hits allowed prop sitting at 6.5, a little bit plus 105, plus 110 on the over. The man just gave up 0 hits against the same team. That makes sense. His earned runs prop sitting at 2.5, minus 140 on the over. His outs prop is juiced at 17.5, just begging you to throw it in all your parlays, because Lorenzen's pitched 8 and 9 innings pitched so far as a Philly. I don't know. If there's something, regression is coming. And if there's anything I know about the Nats, even if they maybe don't get Lorenzen today, you can't count them out. This is a team that is like 5th in the majors in 9th inning scoring. They're always coming in hot at the 9th just to try to get those cover runs, trying to come back and win the game outright. I love him today. Now let's talk about Lorenzen, though. Let's dive back into his stats. He's been good this year. I'm not saying Lorenzen sucks. Corbin Burnes doesn't suck, and he stunk it up last start. Lorenzen, 3.23 ERA and a 1.04 whip. He's been good. His expected ERA, 4.08. So they're expecting some regression in terms of that category. And look at some of his percentile. 22nd percentile in K percentage, 25th in whip percentage, 39th in hard hit percentage, 34th in expected slugging. So some metrics in there that say Lorenzen is going to give up some hard hit balls, and maybe the Nats team can find the gaps and get some doubles, get maybe a home run or two up on Lorenzen. It could happen. And you look at that no-hitter, you could say, dude, he just no-hit the team. He only had 5 strikeouts in that game. He even talked about it in his press conference. Didn't strike out everyone. He gave up some hard hit contact. It just so happened that it didn't find the gaps. In fact, in that no-hitter, if you go to the StatCast, you look at the Nationals, they had some hard hit balls in that one. They had hits with a 590, 510, 510, 430, 360, and 340 expected batting average on some of those hits. Obviously, they didn't fall because they got no hit. They also drew 4 walks against Lorenzen, a team in the Nationals that does not walk. So, in my opinion, they were seeing his pitches all right, getting some hard contact on him. Just didn't get them to fall. Could those fall today in their home ballpark? Yeah, I think so. And I think Lorenzen, a guy that they've seen back-to-back starts, also a guy that hasn't pitched since August 9th, so got a little bit more than extended rest. I think they could get to Lorenzen today. I think the books are saying, hey, some regression's coming his way. I think we had some favorable weather in the Nats ballpark. I think that they can get some runs up on Lorenzen. And the Phillies bullpen is solid. It's been pretty good over the last 10 games, but this Phillies bullpen is also a bullpen that any bullpen really out there can give up some runs late. It's the Nats team that's always trolling at the end of the games, trying to get those cover runs. Heck, they might even win this game outright. Taking the Nats team total over 3.5 plus 100. I'm just saying, I think the Nats are going to show up. If they don't show up, don't come in the comments. And the Nats get no hit again. I don't need that. But as my final play of the day, I'll actually make this one a little bit quicker. Going to the Braves, taking their first 5 team total over 2.5 runs, minus 120 on DraftKings. Our 5th and final play of the day is the first 5 team total. Now on FanDuel, I know the people that on FanDuel, they don't have a first 5 team total bet. But if you need that, I would bet the Braves plus 1.5 first 5 and the over 3.5 runs in the first 5, minus 120 as well. Our same FanDuel pivot yesterday cashed. Hopefully this one cashes as well. But let's talk about this one because obviously we've talked about Riley, we've talked about Acuna. Pretty confident Olsen's going to get a hit today too. And look, if you give me a Braves 2.5 line, not too juiced, I'll take it. If you're looking at the other lines for Alex Cobb, we already talked about his earned runs perhaps sitting at 3.5 plus money on the over, but his outs line sitting at 15.5 plus money on the over too. So they don't think Alex Cobb goes more than 5 innings, and they also think he's given up at least 3, maybe even 4 runs today. I'll take my chances here that the Braves, one of the best offenses at home, can get it done. I mean, you look at Cobb, who has also been struggling, 3.62 ERA, a 4.68 expected ERA. He has a 4.96 ERA, 1.56 whip on the road, allowing a 304 batting average on the road. And much better at home in his very hitter-friendly ballpark, but in Truist Park, I think this Braves team is going to get some hard hit contact. We know this Braves offense, they could have 0 runs going into the 5th inning. They could spawn in 7 runs. This is how good this offense is. Cobb struggling in August, 3, 5, and 6 earned runs so far in his starts, and he's allowed 5 earned runs in both of his last 2 road starts. He gets, obviously, the Braves, one of the best offenses. Last 30 days, Braves, second best batting average, 304, highest OPS at over 1, and then the highest WRC plus at 164 at home versus righties. Look, Cobb 15th. I mean, I'm just spamming stats. Cobb's 15th percentile in hard hit percentage, 11th in expected batting average, 25th in expected slugging, 21st in whip percentage. He's not missing bats, and when the bats are getting connected to the ball, they're hard hit balls. And this is a Braves team that's seen him 69 plate appearances, 11% strikeout percentage, 292 batting average. Look, I've already said enough stats. I'm taking the Braves to get us at least 3 runs through the first 5 innings. I don't care how they get it done. Could be some cheese, could be some homers. I don't care how they get it done. 3 runs, ideally. If we could have a recipe for success, maybe some Ronald Acuna hit, maybe an Austin Riley 3-run homer. I don't care how it gets done. Get us 3 runs, first 5. But Logan, those are 5 favorite picks of the day. You got anything else to add before we wrap up for this wonderful Friday?
Yeah, let's have a great Friday. Let's have a winning day going into the weekend. And as you and I were talking about before we hit record, no Freddie Freeman on our slate, right? We have a chance to have a great night. Fridays are not for the Freddie. He's screwed us the last couple of Fridays. Hopefully, we've got some good picks today. Let's get after it.
We've done really well on Fridays. We do think, side note, we think the juice balls comes out on Friday, except for Fredward. Fredward, fade Freddie Friday. He does not do anything on Fridays. Naturally, we probably hit a homer today because he sold our sweep the last 2 Fridays. But let's have a great Friday. Let us know your favorite picks down below. And let's have a great day. If you want to go check out Orioles video, it's on the screen. Parlay of the day, once it is live, will be on the screen as well. Let's have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you guys back on Saturday with hopefully some more picks. We'll see you guys then. Peace.